Girls of every age, wouldn't you like to see something strange? Come with us and you will see this our town of Halloween. This is Halloween, this is Halloween.
Okay, guys. This has got to be one of the worst comics I've ever read in my life. And I read Marvel Legacy. Okay? Oh, I saw this at the store and I thought, wow, this is going to be a great one to roast. I can't believe they've got it. I'm going to roast the heck out of this. And guess what? It didn't disappoint. I mean, it disappointed you if you want a good comic book, but other than that. So let's look at the cover here. Alright, so we've got some dude with blood coming out of his mouth for some reason. He's sticking his tongue out ironically. I don't know. He's got Beetlejuice pants on. We've got two random ghost kids. And we've got octopus tentacles for some reason, cockroaches. And this chick here and this dude and this girl. Okay? And a cute little cat. Kid Lobotomy, #1 is what it's called. Alright, so let's look at some of these other covers. What the F is this? Really? You did a cover like this? Wow. Okay. So we've got. I had to kind of piece this together because it doesn't explain anything. This is the hotel where he works at. Okay, it's called the Suites, and this is, instead of a Yelp, it's a Whelp report on it. You know, because they had to throw this weird humor in here. Like, we did a thing where we did like a Yelp for, you know, this hotel and stuff. You know, like what? And so we've got Henry 197. It's like, I guess, some kind of cross-dresser because it's Henry, but it looks like a chick. It says, "Do not stay here. Weird vibes. Taught de suites. Crusty towels, smelly pillowcases, low toilets, and the sound of chanting monks audible from the spigots. The manager is dang hot sauce, though." Nobody says that. Nobody says, "Man, that manager's dang hot sauce, though. Girl." Nobody says that. Not even if they say it like I did. So then we show this guy, and he's cutting open this dude's brain. The guy obviously looks dead. Look at him. And he's cutting out the guy's brain and just eating it. He's eating it with a cracker. So then I thought, you know, oh, well, maybe he's like a zombie. You know, maybe he's a zombie and he's eating that because he's, you know, got to eat brains. That would be kind of cool if they did like an iZombie thing. No. So then somebody says, "Kid." And I guess that's his name because it's Kid Lobotomy. I'm not sure. So then somebody walks in and she starts telling him to give her the hotel. And then she starts coming on to him. And then there's this weird thing where she says, "A little sisterly love is all you need, kidster." I was like, gross, that's your sister? Like, why are they pushing this incest deal? That's weird. And then she freaks out on him and turns into some kind of monster. And then he's just dreaming. But he's dreaming and the sister's now in bed with him. Oh, wow, this is getting weirder by the second. And so here's your title page. We get written by Peter Milligan. Art and cover by Tess Fowler. Created by Milligan and Fowler. So, yeah, that's why it's all screwed up. So then, apparently he used to be a rock star, but he's got some kind of mental imbalance because all of a sudden he wanted to start playing the harp, and they thought that was crazy. You know, right off the bat, they had to throw an F-bomb in there because you have to know they're serious. They're for real. So he says he wants to play the harp. They said he's crazy. Then for some reason his guitar string rips and then cuts his face. What has made me so insane? Why? Why did that happen? It just cut his face for no reason. What does that have to do with the story? I don't know. So then you see what the hotel looks like. I've never seen a hotel look like that in my life. I don't know if this is part of his brain or what's going on here. So he's talking about the mom and dad that run the business. And then this is a random shot of him in his underwear. But he has to be like punk rock. You know, he has to have the British underwear, you know, because we're like all 80s punk rock in England kind of type stuff. So then he is playing a harp for like 3 or 4 days in this stupor that he's in, and then tries to jump off the balcony. They catch him and they said, "Oh, I told you he's flipped." So then they put him in a crazy house. He stays there for a while. The dad's paying for the procedure. He still has that scar. I don't know why he cut his face, but okay. And then we start seeing, like, I don't know why there's tentacles and there's fish just swimming randomly. They don't really explain if that's his mind, what's going on. So then you'll notice in this picture he doesn't have the scar. And then he's naked playing the harp because he's freaking out and going crazy. So then they're trying all kinds of procedures to get him to, not be so crazy. But here's the thing, they talk about, they tried like all kinds of stuff, even like satanic stuff. And then they try to be clever in this. He's talking about, and then he hears about new lobotomy. Lobotomy, as we know, it hasn't been practiced for years. Do we know that? Lobotomy, as we know it, hasn't been practiced for years. As we know it. I mean, do people not? I don't know. Do they do it or do they not? You hadn't explained anything. This was different with its hints of cannibalism, shamanistic ritual, and Dada. No, nobody knows what any of that is, except for cannibalism. And it's like, it had hints of this and this, but they don't show you anything. They show these guys in weird tuxedos doing the procedure in tuxedos. That's all you see of it. So now here he is fine. And then it starts to talk about how he starts to fall in love with the guns that they use to cut his head open with. And he starts, just wanting to use them all the time. And then his sister shows up out of nowhere and starts touching him and then disappears because, we just have to have random incest in here. And so he's going crazy seeing her. Then, I guess we went to the point to where this is where he got the hotel because the dad's talking about he's going to give it to him. He has all these chains of hotels that he can't run by himself. And then we see the random kids. I don't know who they are. And then there's a big cockroach jumping out of the cabinet. Yep. Then we cut to this guy with no explanation of what's happening. He's singing to himself. Somebody drops a key in the door. He says, "Oh gosh, the lyrics, the terrible inane lyrics, can't get them out of my head, round and round all day. Razor blades, homemade skin. It doesn't even make sense." "I don't think it has to, Mr. Van de Post. Look, something's coming to post." Van de Post, in the post. That's weird. "A key? Why would anyone send me a key?" "They must have their reasons, sir." Did you not look through the door to see who dropped that key in? Because that's just weird that somebody would just drop a key. And there's clearly a window right there, so you could have seen whoever dropped that key in there. But anyway, so then we cut to this shot where he's sitting in the hotel. I think that's him. And then there's all this craziness going on. And see, this could have kind of been fun if this stuff was real and he was the only one that could see it. And, he had these people staying in the hotel and they were all freaky and weird and stuff. But no, it's just randomly in the shot for no reason at all. Yep. So then it cuts back to he has apparently hired all the staff of extremely distinct people. And he's got a cat for some reason. And then he starts talking about how hot the maid is, and then pinches her and she slaps him for pinching. Okay. Yep. I'm not making this up. So then the old man makes his way to the suites. He starts talking to him about, have no fear, kind sir. Gervais upgrade Dr. Van de Post to the sanity suite. Sounds like an intriguing subgroup of Liguria that you've certainly come to the right place. Why would this old man go to this house, go to this hotel by himself without the maid, and then this random guy running this hotel that looks like he's 20 years old says, "Yeah, you're crazy in the head, but we can fix it." Oh my God. And then the sister's in this weird honeymoon suite with this guy that looks a lot like her brother. And starts talking about their plans that they have to take over the hotel and it's not working out right. And then he makes the mistake of talking about her crazy brother. And then she decides that it's a good time to just drown him in the water. But he doesn't even fight back. She's like 118 pounds and she's able to just drown this guy. And look at her crazy face. Look at her face. She's crazy. That's Tess right there. But anyway, so then we cut to the bar again, and he's talking to the old man some more, and there's all these crazy people for no reason. And so he's talking to him more about the procedure, blah, 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 it's boring. And then when he walks off, Lobotomy turns and looks at the bartender. Now the bartender looks like a maid. And he said, "Oh, you're a shapeshifter? Sure, come in handy when we're a little short-staffed. Maybe I will have another bourbon." So then he's like throwing his guts up. Is that Captain Cummings? Is he reading Captain Cummings? So then the phone rings. He picks up the phone. Says, "Manager speaking. I want to talk to Ola, my dear favorite sister. She gave me a refuge where I wrote many stories, none of which were worth any, which were of any worth." Gosh, can't talk. "Who is this?" "It's my misfortune to be Franz Kafka." "Kafka, my God. Franz, you have to tell me my madness. Why all the cockroaches and bugs? What do they mean? What do they represent?" Kafka's answer might help me, but I passed out in a stupor. Oh my gosh. So he passed out drunk. He wakes up. Now we're back to where we were before, I guess, because they don't really explain everything. There's the sister. And then all of a sudden she does this weird thing where now it's the maid. And then this is what she says. "You begged me to be your sister for a while, so you know..." "Yes, I understand. I had another lacuna. The operation, how did it go?" "Oh, so is she really a shapeshifter? Did she turn into the sister where you could sleep with her because you have a weird incest fetish? Because that's weird. Why was she okay with it? That's weird." So then they got to go check on the old man. They did the operation, at the very beginning of the book that we barely talked about, where he ate his brain for no reason. And here he is. He's got a knife. He's all crazy. And he's talking about Slash cutting him, and he says, that the hypnotist that he went to, there was a hypnotist he went to, gave him that song over and over in his head so that he wouldn't hear the crazy voice that told him to kill people. Then he put the lyrics in my head, then we get this big black page for nothing, and then Kid Lobotomy sitting there with his throat cut out. It's the best possible ending for this comic book, in my opinion, because, then you could just end this issue at issue number 1 and him just bleed out before. Yep. You're my hero, crazy old man. So yeah, that's it. And what's bad is this book feels really thick. I don't know if the pages are just thicker or if there's more pages in here, but the whole book feels like heavier than a normal comic book. So it may be the paper. Maybe they spent more on the paper thinking it would be better, But I got to say, besides the coloring of the cover, there's nothing else really appeal to you. Like I like all this color. That's what they're going for. They're trying their hardest, to get you to look at it. And she's really good at doing faces. Really good at animals. But other than that, this is garbage. It's just total garbage, guys. Like, were you reading the same comic I was reading? Because this is really weird, guys. And then he's got this weird obsession with his sister. Like, this is not natural. This is not how regular people think. Somebody that comes up with this kind of stuff really does have a mental disorder, because you just don't pull this out of nowhere. And then she's got the maid turned into the sister. And I mean, is there something you want to tell us? Is something going on here? But this is not something that I would let anybody read, because this right here is just trash. When you've got stuff like Go-Go Power Rangers out that's good for all ages, and you got this garbage here that makes you look at the dollar bin, almost like a sci-fi special. What do you guys think? That's all I got for this mess. But yeah, I figured it'd be a good roast, and it was, because this right here is some trash, just some utter trash. Yep. Spent a lot on this cover though, It's weird. But anyway, guys, that's all I got. Hit the like button, hit the thumbs up button, hit the notifications button so you don't miss any of my videos. And tell me what else you want me to talk about. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Underground Geek out.